Oh,
What's
thanks.
going on? What's going on,
What's
everybody? I hope y'all
up?
having a great Friday, man.
Happy
Back again,
Friday.
episode 4. Sports Bicker. You know what I'm saying? We about to go over some most recent sports news, uh, and everything in between. So first off, we was talking about T. Higgins. Before we hopped on live, we was discussing, is T. Higgins a top 10 wide receiver in the league, right?
Mm.
Is he top 10? I mean, he's making damn near top 10 money, right? He's making 30 million. So that's a good question. And I don't think he is. Shit, I don't even think he's top 15, honestly. If he is top 15, he's 15. But we about to go over that right now. Nico, what do you think? Do you think he's top? I know you don't think he's top 10, but do you think he's at least top 15? And who do you have over him?
I don't think he's top 15 either. And if you want, I'll read you off my list, and
Yeah.
then you tell me what you think about it. So then that way I can send out, do something on my end real quick. But
All right.
so the 15 that I came up with that are better than T Higgins, and I'm just gonna kind of go. I'm gonna go kind of fast.
You
Justin
ain't got to really.
Jefferson.
Okay.
This is in no
Okay.
particular order
Right.
either.
Right.
Just 15 that you know. Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans, Puka Nakua, C.D. Lamb, A.J. Brown, D.K. Metcalf, Devontae Adams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Debo Samuel, Chris Godwin, Cooper Cup, Nico Collins, and Malik Neighbors.
So you didn't even put Terry McLaurin in there?
I did not. I didn't.
You're smoking hella crack. You're smoking hella crack. Hold on, bro. Give me the names again. Give me the damn names, bro.
Okay. All right. Here you go. The
This is
names are.
high.
And look, you know what? Terry McLaurin, he could be anywhere from 13, 14, and
He's
15.
top 10, bro. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna stop you when I tell you
Okay.
for sure who Terry
Justin
McLaurin is better than.
Jefferson.
Okay.
Justin Jefferson. Jamar Chase.
Okay.
Tyreek Hill. Mike Evans.
Okay.
Puka
I'll
Nakua.
take that. I'll take that.
C.D. Lamb.
Okay.
A.J. Brown.
Okay.
D.K. Metcalf.
Stop. DK Metcalf is not the route runner Terry McLaurin is. DK Metcalf is not the contested catcher Terry McLaurin is. What does
Mm-hmm.
DK Metcalf do better than Terry McLaurin?
The dude's just dominant at football. Like,
Bro,
I mean, dude's just
do
a
you want to,
big guy
bro?
right there, security blanket. I
Let's
know
pull up the
I can
numbers.
pass it to him, and he will catch a ball. Now again, remember before this,
I
what are we
wish we
talking
had some
about? We're
more
talking
people in here because this is
specifically
high.
last season. Are we talking last season or career? Because this is
We're
career.
talking about both last season,
You can't
career,
talk about
anything.
you can't talk about that like both because like then you can make an argument for each one if it doesn't go the way you want it. So it's either last season, which in that case I would agree with you. Terry
Let's do
McLaurin is
right
better
now.
than
Let's
DK
do
Metcalf.
let's do right now because it's too much to do career and to go over all these different years. Let's just do right now. So you
Okay.
believe DK Metcalf is better than Terry McLaurin right now?
Oh, right now,
It's
at
an
this
easy. He
point,
had 992
let's say,
yards in 5 touchdowns, 66 catches. He's not top 10 in anything. The highest he's top 10 is yards, and he's tied for 25th. Everything else he's behind in. And that's from last season. So if we
mhm.
go to 2023, he had 1,100 yards, which isn't bad at all. That's really good. He's only had 3,000-yard seasons in his 6-year career. Terry McLaurin has had 1,000 yards every year for one. Granted, uh, he's played almost every game every year.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is crazy, bro. Let's pull up Terry McLaurin stats because this is high. This is real high.
Okay, well, go ahead. Put. Pull them up.
Are sleeping. People be sleeping on Terry, bro. He finally get a quarterback, and people forget. Like
Well,
he had
that's why he's popping off right now because he
no.
finally
He's
got a
been popping off.
he
His
finally
sophomore
got a
season,
quarterback.
bro. His sophomore season, he had 1,100 yards, 4 touchdowns, 13 yards, 87 catches.
Mm-hmm.
That was 2020, right? DK Metcalf 2020 season, 83 catches, 1,300 yards, 10 touchdowns, right?
Okay. Okay.
That's the only year he's had better than Terry. Terry this year, 13 touchdowns, 82 catches,
Yeah.
1,100 yards. Terry had almost triple the amount of touchdowns that DK Metcalf had. 20 more catches, right? Less targets, by the way.
All right. Hold on. Okay. My bad. You know what I was doing. Okay.
So
I need to
you
write this out
gotta
because I'm someone that needs to. Can you read me
you gotta
off
remove
Terry
you gotta
McLaurin?
remove you
Oh
gotta
no, I
remove
said no
DK.
order. I said no order, but I'm not
You gotta
removing DK
remove
from top
DK.
15. I'm not
I'm
removing
talking about
DK from
over
top
Terry
15.
though. Okay, let's do top 10. Let's do top
Remember,
10.
because this was in no order. This was in no particular order, right?
Okay.
I uh so, but I mean, read me off Terry McLaurin's numbers from last season again. Yards,
Yards was
touchdown,
1,096.
1,096.
So he was 4 yards
Okay.
off 1,100. 82
Okay.
receptions and 13
Uh,
touchdowns. And
82. And
DK
how
been
many
playing
touchdowns?
with 13.
Okay.
DK has been playing with Geno Smith for a lot of his career. Before Terry got Jaden Daniels,
Mm.
who was his QBs? Who was his QBs? Name one, bro. Name one QB that Terry McLaurin had. I bet you can't. You probably name one.
Sam Howell. Sam Howell.
Sam
And
fucking Howe.
then after that,
Okay.
you guys had Carson Wentz,
Carson
Super Bowl
Wentz,
champion. Super Bowl
Super
champion.
Bowl.
He is a Super Bowl champion.
That's like saying Kenny Pickett, Super Bowl champion. And he's our starting quarterback. Like, that's
No,
not a
what?
flex. That's not a flex, bro. Carson Wentz was worse than Carson Wentz with us was like the worst quarterback we've had in the last 5 years. He wasn't even as good as Tyler Heineke was better than Carson Wentz when he played.
Tyler Heineke.
Tyler Heineke isn't even on a roster right now. Like, listen to these guys that we had at QB, bro. The best person we had for Terry was Alex Smith before he broke his leg. That was the best quarterback we've had. And that was like that wasn't even for a long time. That was like a few games really. So like
Okay.
DK Metcalf had Geno Smith. He had a consistent Geno Smith and then a Russell Wilson,
Geno Smith was not
before.
that good. And
Bro,
Russell Wilson.
but hold on.
The past couple years was not the Russell Wilson of 2012.
Bro, at least he had consistency.
You know.
At least he had consistency. Terry McLaurin he was going through 2 to 3 career backups a year throwing him the ball.
But that's
he
not
was
what he was
switching.
averaging every year.
He was averaging 1,000 yards. He averaged over 1,000 yards every year.
And so did Metcalf.
But Metcalf had consistency. You're not understanding how consistent it is to have Geno Smith throw you the ball every season. And Geno Smith just got the bag. He's better than every quarterback I just named for the Commanders by far. And then before that, he had a Russell Wilson who was still really solid. So he's only really played with 2 QBs, bro. That's it.
Yeah, but those QBs weren't even like the best QBs.
You don't need the best QBs. You just need a good, mediocre, average starting quarterback. Terry McLaurin didn't even have an average starting quarterback in the league. None of them guys I named were starters. Yeah. Dwayne Haskins. Like, This is crazy, bro.
Okay.
You know about Dwayne Haskins. You a O State fan.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
That's
Yeah,
and it's
Dwayne.
crazy because Terry from O State, and you're not even. Oh my gosh, Nico.
I mean, I just don't see him on there because he didn't. What did he do for that team except for now? Like, if you're talking about last season,
Oh,
if you're talking about top wide receivers
nope,
last season, sure, he
I'm doing it.
definitely boom shot up. But I
I'm
think I
doing it.
think you're letting your fanhood go take over a little bit. But I respect it. Hey, I respect
Nah,
it.
nah. You know what we're gonna
But I
do?
mean,
I'm not doing
I
it right now.
told you, one, this was a no order.
This is
I
this is what we're going to do. Okay.
Okay, what are we gonna do?
Since you're sounding like you don't really know. It sounds like you're not really hip to Terry like that. So this is what we're going to do.
Okay,
All right.
what are we
This
gonna
is
do?
exactly what we about to do. This is what we about to do. I gotta let these people know. Hold on.
Are we gonna
Like two
create a
seconds.
poll?
Nah. We about to pull up some Terry McLaurin highlights. That's what
If
we
you're
about
gonna
to do.
pull highlights up,
Nah, look. We about to pull up some highlights of Terry
okay,
McLaurin catches. We gonna pull
okay.
up
Are we gonna put up some DK?
We
Okay,
gonna pull up DK catches.
okay, okay.
And we're gonna compare. I'm talking about catches. This dude catches, bruh. Let's get to it.
All right, here we go. Here we go.
Look who's throwing him the ball. Case Keenum. Okay, this is a solid. He just beat his man.
Okay.
He just beat his man. That ain't really nothing. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing. We go before I continue. You're going to see a different quarterback every clip. By the way, just heads up.
Fair.
Mm,
Mm,
broken tackle,
okay.
contested catch. All right. Matter of fact, this is too long. This 25 minutes. They're gonna go through all the like the mediocre catches. I need to find something. Um, I need to find like a real clip of like his best highlights.
Go up, go up, go up. There's the best place.
Where you
Go
see
up a
that?
little, right there. Uh-huh.
This one. This is from the
Yeah.
2023 season.
Oh, okay,
Hold on.
okay.
But bro he get crazy, bro.
2024,
He goes
2023.
crazy. We might have to go through that clip because I think that clip has all of them.
Yeah.
I think that clip had like this is 11 months ago. First of all, let's go through this season. We go since let's keep it. We gotta go through this season because this was his best year, right? We gonna
Are you
pull up
gonna pick out
DK.
the best year? All right, then let's put
Yeah,
DK's
look,
best
no,
year. You
we're
gotta
gonna pick
compare
out
DK's
DK's
best
best
year.
year. Yeah, we're gonna pull out
Okay,
DK's
okay,
best year
okay.
too. We're gonna
All
pull
right.
out DK's best year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He gets behind the defense and he has complete contested catches. Look at the route
Mm-hmm.
running, bro.
Ooh. And then guy ahead of him. Just running, finds it.
Cam Taylor
There you
Britt,
go.
tough too.
In the basket.
All right. Look, this is for the clutch points. Double move.
Oh.
DK not catching that.
Mm-hmm.
DK is not catching that, bro. I'm telling you right
What?
now, he's not catching that. I don't think he's
What?
catching it. I'm gonna say it
Oh
right
my
now. He's
God.
not catching that, bro.
I'll
He's
let
not.
you enjoy your moment. I'll let you enjoy your moment before you look up
He's not
DK.
catching that, bro.
Go ahead, enjoy your moment for right now. I mean, these are nice catches. I'm not denying that he is not this past year, like got a huge jump,
DK's
right?
not
And he
he's
has
not fucking
had
with him.
bad quarterbacks. He's been a great player for that team. Um,
Tote look, limp leg.
yeah.
Mm.
Besides, like, I mean, obviously Jaden Daniels. he's the second most valuable player on that team.
For sure. For
Right,
sure. Behind
right.
Jaden Daniels,
Okay,
for sure. For
I
sure.
can agree with that. Yeah.
But the thing where I really love outside of his play on the field is that coming out of Ohio State, he was a third round pick. Like people didn't really know how
Oh
good he
snap.
would be. He wouldn't people wouldn't know how good he would be. He just
Hmm.
been really consistent.
I mean, he's the speedster, right? He's the guy that get open deep. You can just
Nah,
chuck the
you
ball.
gonna see the contested catches though. Get off me.
Mm,
And his route running
yeah,
is his
because I
route
don't
running
think
is
Bicker can do
underrated.
that.
He gets in the blind spot of the cornerback and stops.
Hmm.
Look at this. Hold on. Oh, this is not the one. It's the second one. That's just a solid touchdown catch. This is the one I was talking about. Mm.
Mm,
And that's the PI.
hmm.
We got to get through these because I want to get the DK. That's a solid catch.
No, that's
Very
fine. That's fine. Uh huh.
That's a solid catch. Get off me, young fella.
There we go. There we go.
Mm.
Okay. Look for
Get out of
him.
there,
Find
Mariota.
him. Find him. Just throw
Uh,
it. Just throw it to him. There you go.
uh, stay up,
Mm.
stay up. Come back.
Oh, stumbled.
Yeah. Uh, Another deep one. Mm.
Okay.
Hold, I gotta see this from the beginning.
Oh,
Mm.
oh. Mm. Mm.
One thing I will, Dave, to critique him though, he be getting caught from behind, bro. I don't know why. Like
Yeah.
he supposed to be taking these to the house. He always get tripped up.
He has to find it in the air because he's so fast. Sometimes he's too fast, and he has to like slow down a little bit to catch it.
This is just last year, bro. He had some
Yeah.
crazy contested catches years in like before. Mm.
Mm. Okay.
Easy catch.
Makes it look.
Scary Terry. Mm. Woo. Easy, too easy.
Okay. Mm.
Hey, he cooked Banks all year.
Yeah.
Get off me. Nah, Porter fast though. Number 24, he fast as hell. He wasn't
Hmm.
outrunning him. He wasn't outrunning Porter. Porter's too fast. He one of the fastest defensive backs in the league. Yeah, he fast as hell. Bro.
Caught
That's
him.
Joey Porter's son, Steelers legend.
Oh snap. Oh.
Mm,
Oh. Oh. Okay. Okay.
Another deep one. Mm.
Mm. Mm.
Drag the feet.
There you go. I love that footwork. Balance, footwork, boom. And
He might be the most underrated Ohio State wide receiver of recent years.
I could agree with that. I could definitely
This
agree
is
with
the
that.
one,
You tell
bro.
me he went.
This is for the game to tie the game, bro.
Yeah.
What was you about to say?
And he went third. He went in the third round.
Yeah, he went in the third round, bro. He's a third round pick. People didn't
Okay.
know how good he was going to be because they didn't really see his work ethic. But when he got to the league, he outworked everybody, bro. He
Yeah.
became our number one wide receiver in preseason. Like that's when they knew, and they just ran with it.
Okay. Oh, oh, oh.
It's something slight. You know what I'm saying? Finally get a QB that can actually find him consistently.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a big
It's
part.
something real slight. Mm. Slant route. I'm not saying
Mm.
DK is bad. I just don't think DK is better than Terry McLaurin. That's just me. And it's not even any biases. It's just the contested catch
Okay.
and how sure his hands are compared to DK's hands, in my opinion.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Mm.
Well,
Like talk about contested catches, man.
I think that's one of the best examples. I would say of all the ones you've shown me so far, that's one of the best ones.
Nah, the best one was the Bengals one, bro. I'm sorry. That was better than this. He's on one side
Okay.
of he gonna run all the way across.
Boom. He knew he was going to get hit, and he still held on.
Simple little over route.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm.
That's a dart. That's a dart, bro, from Jaden Daniels. That's a dart.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm so mad about this game because he could have had 4 touchdowns. It was like 2 deep balls. They just didn't connect for some reason.
I'm not going to connect on everything.
But it was like back to back. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah. Okay. This is a good test.
Yeah.
Right here.
Quinyon Mitchell.
Okay. So
Come
the
on, man. I
rookie.
thought this was Quintana Bay. He cooked that boy.
Yeah. Went after the
Cooked that
rookie.
boy.
Said, "Hey."
Look at this. I really want to see DK Metcalf highlights because I don't think he's as sure-handed as Terry McLaurin is. I really don't. I think when the DK Metcalf gets the ball,
Mm-hmm.
he's a more physical runner. He's probably a little bit faster than Terry. But when it comes to being a wide receiver, route running, catching, this is for the
Route
game
running,
too.
I'll give you that too for Terry. I'll
He
agree
got
with
he
that.
got better hands than DK Metcalf too. DK Metcalf be
I
dropping the
know.
ball, bro. DK be dropping the ball, bro. And
But
I'm not even saying I fuck with DK, but
yeah,
he'll drop that ball, bro.
I will say this: Terry has had a lot of one-on-one. DK has 1 and 2 most of the time.
Bro, what do you mean, bro? Terry McLaurin has been our only wide receiver. He was our only wide receiver last year. You know how
Yeah,
the Eagles bracketed him every time we played them. They had a cornerback over him and a safety. Before last year, he was still our only wide receiver we had, bro. And we had bad quarterback play.
yeah, but teams didn't. I don't think defensive respected him enough to put two. They would probably put their best corner and just be like, "All right, man, go for it."
This is the
But I
playoffs,
haven't
bro.
seen two
Look,
people like ride on him a lot of times, and a lot of
bro,
these
look at these
touchdowns.
catches, bro.
That's fine, but a lot of them are one-on-ones, not 2v1. They're still great. Like he's still like the one person that they decide to put him on. They still can't compete.
Get off me.
There you go, off to the races.
Crazy. Now I want to
All
show you
right.
this, and then we could go because I don't like talking about this game. Broken tackle. Get off me.
Boom. All
Come
right.
on, bro.
Go
Come
ahead.
on, bro.
Put them DK.
Come on, bro. What year are we picking?
If
We
you
go
want his
2024.
best year, I mean, his
It'll
best
probably be 2020.
year.
It'll probably be 2020. That's probably his best year.
Uh, mm, yeah,
2020,
you
he
could
had
do
10
2020 or
touchdowns.
2021.
Let's go to 2020 full season
Hold on.
highlights. Well, this is short, bro. This is only 4 minutes. Let's see if we got. Okay, let's go to this one. Let's see what he's talking about. Russell Wilson, consistency.
Boom.
Little slant. Another slant.
Right there. Right there. Ooh. Okay. Okay.
Nice over the
Easy.
shoulder throw.
Okay. There we go. There we go. He's going for it. Oh, here's the next one. Oh. Oh. Boom. Instantly 2 people.
Hold on. I want to go back. I want to see I want to see what happens to the defender. Oh, that's a nice
Oh,
move.
got him.
That's a
Got
nice
him.
move.
And you gotta remember the size.
I want to see
right
more
there.
catches with him. I want to see more
Let's
catches
see
when
it.
like the defender is draped all over him and he makes a
Oh, you
contested
see it.
catch. Okay, that's a great catch.
Boom.
There we go.
Oh,
There we
come
go.
on
That's on your
now.
squad too.
And that's on my squad, yeah. And you know who that was? That was Stephon Gilmore.
Oh, don't talk about that. Terry McLaurin cooked Stephon
Come on
Gilmore when he was
now.
with the Colts.
Come on now. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, see 2 people. 2
One more
people
thing, bro.
instantly
One
are
more
always
thing. Hold on,
around
wait.
him.
Before
2
I
people are
continue, let
always
me say
instantly
this.
around him. Come on
Let me
now.
say this though. Before
Yeah.
I continue,
Yeah.
how many fumbles you think Terry McLaurin ever had in his career? They came in the same year.
DK has more fumbles.
Bro, Terry McLaurin has had 1 fumble in 6 years. DK
That's
Metcalf
great.
has had 9 in 6 years.
Yeah, but that's also because he's getting hit by linebackers always on him. Like he's getting double coverage nearly every time. Terry McLaurin
Let's
is not
all right.
this
Let's go
upcoming
to
year he might, but like
let's
I
go to
mean,
drops. Let's go to drops. How many drops does he have?
again,
Can
I
we go to
mean,
DK
DK probably
drops?
has more. DK
Because
probably has
DK
more.
be dropping. So what is
Yeah,
DK
because
better than Terry at?
DK is a better, like I would say, he is better at being the big guy right there, ball security. If I need that slant,
He does not
right?
have
You
ball
didn't see
security.
that. You didn't see that from Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin, all his touchdowns, which were great, but they were all down the field, just chuck the ball, let him outrun the
Bro,
guy, do the move,
his
out route, and he would be open. Terry
bro,
McLaurin was not the slant guy. So that was
Terry
DK
McLaurin,
Metcalf.
bro,
DK
what are you
Metcalf
talking
would be
about?
a
I
little
just
straight.
showed you.
He
I
would get
just
hit.
hold on,
Yeah,
wait.
all those touchdowns were on the outside,
Okay,
bro. Don't
go
even.
ahead.
Don't even. Like all his touchdowns were
Hold on,
on the
okay.
or were on the outside, like out. Like again, and I'm not trying to
Let
like
me
they're
talk.
both great.
Let me
But
talk on that real
go
quick.
ahead. All right.
I just showed you. He just took a slant to the house in an NFC Championship game. He
Yeah,
just took
but
a
out of
slant
how
against the
many?
Steelers. He took a
You
slant
can
against the Steelers
okay.
on Joey Porter Jr. He
Yeah.
almost took that to
No,
the house.
that was deep though.
No,
Not
against the
like me, not
Steelers?
short. Not
No, it
short. And
wasn't.
that's not his bread and butter though. That's not what Terry
Nah, bro.
McLaurin does on
Terry McLaurin
normal.
did it
Does
all,
he
bro.
have some here and there? Yeah, but that's not what his ability, or that's not what they're going to use him for. They're going to use him to stretch the field on the outside. That's where they're using
What is
him.
this?
They're not going
What
to
is
try to move
this?
him in the middle.
All
Go
right,
ahead.
what is
Yeah.
this?
Okay. Okay, go ahead.
What is this? He's lined up. He's lined up in the slot.
Okay.
He's lined up in the
You have to
slot.
find that
What is
video.
this?
Where is that?
What is
Eight
this?
minutes
Hold on.
into a 15-minute video. Okay. Next one.
To the house.
On the outside, not a slant, but go ahead.
What is this one? It doesn't matter if it's outside. He's taking him to the,
There we
he's
go.
catching it and
There we
running with the
go.
ball.
Bro,
What is
but
that?
that's
I got more
again
for
that
you, bro.
song.
This is just
Those
one
were just
year though.
three. Those were three that you found in a 15-minute video. The first one appeared around the 8-minute mark.
But they were
What are we
all
talking
almost
about?
touchdowns, bro.
That's not what that's not what I'm talking about. I'm
All
not
right. So what are
saying
you
whether they
saying?
were what I'm saying, okay, is that in general, most of the time, Terry McLaurin's what if you want to call it the receptions, right? They're big chunk plays that are usually on the outside and over here, right? Like if this is the field, right?
Mm-hmm.
His is on the outside, right? Most of the time, in all those videos that you showed me, he was catching the ball here on the outside. Does not mean that there was not instances where sure
He's a
he did
he's
catch
an
the ball.
outside receiver. He's not Debo Samuel. He's not going to line up in the slot. DK
Okay,
Metcalf,
okay.
DK Metcalf is the same. He's going to line up outside. Most of his touchdowns are going to be outside. DK Metcalf is the number one wide
No,
receiver.
DK
He's lined
Metcalf
up
was not just
outside.
on the outside. DK Metcalf, they would push him into the inside. You didn't even let the whole clip play of the highlight of DK Metcalf.
So
First
is
of all,
Terry. Terry lined up in the inside.
no,
First of all, DK Metcalf is going to line up all over the place.
okay.
Terry McLaurin, especially last year, he lined up mostly on the left side and the right side outside because of scheme. But we lined them up in the inside too. We moved them all around. We wasn't about
Well,
to
you
put
didn't
him in
move
the
him
inside,
because you can't just put him in the same spot all the time, or else defense will
but
catch
we
on
had
to that.
Zach Ertz too, bro. We wasn't about to like. He's not. That's he. Zach Ertz really played our slot last season. He was our slot receiver.
Okay.
Terry McLaurin was our outside guy. That proves
Yeah,
nothing as to
I'm
what does that
agreeing with that.
prove? Okay, why does it matter if we put DK Metcalf in the inside? Why does it matter that DK Metcalf lined up in the inside slightly more than Terry McLaurin did? What does that prove?
But to me, that proves that he's going to draw in those linebackers. He has to get through more coverages to get open. Whereas Terry McLaurin generally just has to beat the outside guys because you're not going to see a lot of
Oh,
linebackers leave the middle area of the field to go guard him. So he just has to maybe beat a cornerback or
he's getting
a
cornerbacks and
safety.
safeties. So
Not
you're
a lot
comparing
in those touchdowns.
wait. You're comparing
Mhm.
cornerback and safeties guarding Terry McLaurin and DK Metcalf is guarded by cornerbacks and linebackers. Like that's
And
not a
three
good
safeties.
argument. That's not a good argument, bro.
He
The
has to take
argument that
all
I'm
three of
proving
those on.
the argument that I'm proving why Terry McLaurin is better than DK is this.
Yeah.
He has a best contestant catch rating, right? He has
Okay.
less drops. Less drops. He's a more
Yeah, because he's
sure-handed
not
wide
getting double
receiver.
covered as much.
It
But go ahead.
doesn't matter. I'm talking about drops,
Yeah.
not you know
But
deflections
that
from the
plays an
defense.
impact into that.
I'm talking about when the ball hits you and you drop it.
Yeah.
He has less fumbles.
Okay.
He's a better route runner. Like that's four legit things that he's better than DK Metcalf at being a wide receiver. Those are four legit things that you could say, okay,
Because
he's
his
better
game
than him
is
at.
different and it allows him to do
You
those
can't
numbers.
just say your only reason right now is to say that because DK Metcalf lines up in the inside more often.
And so
Like that,
he's gonna take on those bigger. If
we
Terry
we
McLaurin
can
had to
watch.
take hits from
Let's
linebackers, he would not
let's
last. I
finish.
don't think he would last.
Let's finish watching DK. Let's finish watching some
Okay.
DK because I want to give DK some love too because he a dog too though. Get off me
There we go. Oh.
to the
Look how
house.
many people.
No,
Okay,
I think
there
he
we
might have
go.
stepped out.
We went one,
That's a
two,
tough
right
catch.
there.
That's why the Steelers picked him up. He a dog.
Thank you. Mm. There you go. In the
A
middle. Now
good.
he has to get through two
First of
people.
all, this is
Let's go
a
away.
bad compare. DK is a dog. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah,
I feel like Terry's comp is more like Amon-Ra St. Brown type player.
that's fair. Like I don't. Yeah, I could agree that you should be comparing them because it's a different type of player. But to say like it's how would you use them? Like what? Look, there was one on the outside, but again, most of his are going to be within the inside, right?
But he ain't even
They
routing
play
people up
all
though.
over him.
He just cutting and going and getting the ball.
Yeah, because he's so big. He just that's all he needs to do. Look at that. Dude was dragging him and he still caught it. Give me
Mm.
that. There we go.
Man, he should have came to the Commanders, bro. He tripping,
One,
bro.
two. Look at that.
We could have had
And
DK,
left the dude
Debo, and
injured.
Terry.
And left the linebacker injured. I don't see Terry McLaren doing that. Give me that. Now I agree,
Bro.
and again, Terry McLaren I would agree, he has better numbers, better yards, but the game is different for him than how you would use him different than how you would use DK. And for me, the way I would run my team, I would prefer, and I have one pick, and I have to pick between DK Metcalf and Terry McLaren. I'm picking DK first.
So why he
That's just
got
me.
more drops? Why he got more drops and fumbles? You want somebody
Because
that's gonna
he
turn
has
the
to
ball
fight
over?
more. Yeah, he has to fight more for it,
That doesn't make any
and he
sense.
gets hit more.
That doesn't make any sense. This is football.
And he
Why are
just
you
now got
fumbling?
people.
Why are you fumbling the ball 9 times?
Because when you're getting
Why
hit
you
and people are hitting you every single play all over
that's a
because
bad excuse.
they know
That's
how
not an
good you
excuse.
are.
That's not
Okay.
an excuse, Nico. You know that's not an excuse, bro.
That is an
You
excuse.
know
That's what
that's
happened
not an
to Rob.
excuse.
That's what would happen
That
to
is
Rob
not.
Gronkowski. That's what
You
happened to
cannot
Travis
talk about
Kelsey.
football. Listen, you can't talk about football in
Yeah.
the same sentence and say a dude has more fumbles. It is justified because he has to fight through more tackles. That's not an excuse as to why that no. And then on top of
Okay.
that, Terry's the better route runner than DK.
There we go.
DK got over him is speed and size and bigness. That's it. That's all he got
Yeah.
over TK.
Yeah.
That's all he got over there, and that's why you taking him
I'll
over
take
Terry.
that. I'll take that. Hell yeah.
So
I'm all about size. Size matters.
pause. Um, so would you take DK over Amon-Ra St. Brown?
Oh,
You talking about size matters? If you say Amon-Ra St. Brown, I won't believe you, bro. I won't believe you.
I like Amon-Ra St. Brown, so I don't.
But you don't like Terry?
I don't know. It's not that I don't like him. It's again, I like DK slightly more, but if I have to,
You know what it is though.
and it's like slightly. It's
It's the
not by
only
much.
reason.
You could
Listen, the
put
only
DK
reason
and
why
Terry,
Terry is in
boom,
this
right
position.
there.
Listen, bro, I'm gonna tell you this. The only reason
Okay.
Terry is in this position, bro. The only
Yeah.
reason is because he was never with a solid QB until this season. That's why his stats look so good with a rookie quarterback who's an actual QB. If he would have had at least a Russell Wilson, you know what I'm saying, or who's a solid average QB, at least a Geno Smith, at least Jared Goff has been really good these past few seasons, but just a regular average top 20 QB in the league. His stats, bro, would be crazy, bro. He would have been talked about as top 10, top 5 in the league. He just been flying under the radar because he had to switch through so many QBs every season who were trash, bro. That's the only reason.
I agree.
DK only really had to go through 2 quarterbacks, and 2 of them. Geno Smith is top 15, top 16 QBs in the league for sure, right? There's not 15 QBs better than Geno Smith. There's just not.
Based off of last year, no.
Based off of last year, based off of right now, Geno Smith And
Yeah,
the year
no,
before,
no.
bro, there wasn't 15
And the
QBs
year
better than
before, I
Geno
agree.
Smith.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that.
So you know what I'm saying? Like that's the type of QB DK Metcalf had a chance to play with. It's gonna be different. And still, you're gonna if Aaron Rodgers does not go to the Steelers, you're gonna see the true DK because now he's going to be playing with like a Mason Rudolph. We're gonna have to see DK Metcalf like get himself open, like because he's not going to be playing with a decently mid, a mid to really decent QB. He's gonna be playing probably with Mason Rudolph if Aaron Rodgers doesn't sign back, right? So.
And I'll say this. I think that's a great point you made. DK, this is a great year for DK to prove to the any doubters, and I'm not saying you're a
Mhm.
doubter, because again, like we're talking about two really great wide receivers that are just the comps are different. It's hard to be comparing them because the way you would utilize them is different, right? If I
Mhm.
could have both of them, oh man, right? Terry McLaren going out on the outside, deep fade, either left or right, in or out, and then you have DK Metcalf on a slant. I'll eat that up. Oh gosh, I'll draw that up every time. But
All right.
this is a great time for DK Metcalf to prove because
Yeah.
I will agree he has had good quarterbacks. And the other thing that DK has had that Terry McLaren hasn't had, which is why Terry McLaren probably has better numbers, is that DK has had help. He's had good, solid wide receivers too next to him. Lockett has is a great secondary wide
Tyler
receiver
Lockett
for
and Jackson,
Tyler
Tyler Lockett,
Lockett.
Jackson. But the thing is, though, that's the thing.
Hmm.
Terry has for the most part been over there by himself. And
And that's
all the
yes.
teams
So all the
know,
targets are going to go to
all we
him.
got to do is stop Terry. We ain't really have like since he's been in the league. What running game have we really had? We haven't had not a real consistent running game. We haven't had. He hasn't had a consistent running mate. Jahan Dotson is probably his best running mate at wide receiver. Josh Doxson.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
who was on the other side of Terry? Like every
And so
game we
that's why
went
Terry would
into,
get more targets. They're going to target
he
him
would get
more.
more targets, but he was getting covered more. All the defense had to do was focusing on Terry. So
But
they
at least
cancel
in
each
that
other out.
those highlights that was not happening. If
That
you
was
were those
2024
highlights,
highlights. That was
okay,
2024 highlights
okay,
because defenses had
okay,
to stop Jaden Daniels. We ran
yeah.
a lot of options. So they
And I
had to
don't
have
think,
they have to
and I
have
think,
their eyes on the QB. But see, hold on, wait.
yeah.
Let me. That's why I got to show you. I got to show you his highlights before last season, bro. Let me just show you this. Let me just show you his. What year do I want to do? I'm gonna show you his. Let me see. I really want to show you his 2022 highlights, but he was so consistent. He had highlights. You could pick any year
Hmm.
real quick. Now, this is Carson Wentz. This is when Terry getting the ball every time. Get off me.
Yeah,
Still can't
yeah.
stop him.
Uh, uh,
He ain't the
okay.
biggest. He ain't the fastest. But he gonna get it
He's
done
fast.
every
That
time.
dude's
No,
fast.
he's fast. He's fast. He's fast. I'll take that back. You're right. He's not the fastest, but he's fast.
Yeah. Hmm.
Mm,
There you go.
mm. Solid.
Mhm.
Terrible pass.
There go two people on him. Terrible pass. Two people on him.
Terrible
He clutched
pass.
the crap out of that.
Because all you got to do is put it in his vicinity.
Oh, they handed it off to him. Little Debo
Yeah,
right
get
there.
off me.
Okay, one
Mm,
person on him, but still. Go another one. There you go. Another
mm,
single coverage.
mm,
There you go. Some coverage on the outside. Slam in the middle. I like that. Oh. Okay.
Everyone know he getting the ball, bro. Can't stop him.
Yeah, but
Can't
single
stop him.
coverage. There's a single coverage.
It's single coverage with a high safety though, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It's
There
one
we go on the
cornerback.
inside. There we go on the inside.
They throwing screens. They handing him out the ball. He's running slants. He's running
Yeah,
go
because they got to
routes.
get it out. They got to get it out fast.
He's running all types of stuff.
There we go.
3 broken tackles in one play.
I like that one. That one's a great case. There we go. There's another good one. 2-3 hits.
Get off me.
Mm-hmm.
Get off me. you can't fuck with this dude, bro. I'm trying to tell you, DK not fucking with Terry, bro.
I mean, he's
get off
good.
me, bro.
He's good. He's good.
He breaking endless tackles.
DK does that too. What are we talking about,
bro? But like,
it's all
handing off the ball
on the outside, handing off. He's not going to drop a hand off. I hope not.
But I'm just saying, you talking about they only line him out on the outside. They giving him end rounds.
Well, yeah. They're giving him a lot of screens to the outside. Again, on the outside. Outside.
He cooked Jair this whole game.
Roasted him. Cooked him.
He cooked him the whole game, bro. You should hear Jair Alexander talk about this game. Because he got shamed this game, bro. Shamed.
Yeah. I mean, that was Heineke. There you go.
Yeah, bro, he cooked him the whole day.
All right. So Metcalf is on that list. Again, Terry McLaurin definitely can be on this list of 15.
He's better than
very
DK.
easily.
I want to talk to you about one more thing, though. I want to talk to you.
And your opinion is, but we can agree to disagree.
I want to talk to you about one more thing, though.
What's up?
Jaden Daniels is top 5 quarterback in the league.
Oh my gosh, we gotta go through this again.
Before we
1 year, after one year,
what constitutes? Let me ask you this then: what constitutes a top 5 QB? What makes you a top 5 QB?
Huh? What makes you a top 5 QB? Consistency.
What makes you a top 5
consistently
QB?
being great?
I'm not. You can't. But like, okay. Other than consistency, because Jaden Daniels only has one season.
Great. Okay. Why are we going to talk about that then? He's only had 1 year.
Okay. Jaden, let me rephrase it then. Jaden Daniels was the top 5 QB in 2024.
Fine. Yes, I agree with that.
Okay. That's all I wanted to say. That's all I needed you to say. Because even though I know he's top 5 QB regardless, top 5 QB regardless, I had to put it like that because you talking about some damn consistency. But I get it though. It is consistent. All I want you to know that
someone great. That's what makes.
Okay, so who was your? Okay, so
okay. I'm gonna turn on the light. But go ahead, keep going.
No, that's all I had to say. So it was really nothing more to go because you agree with me that he is top 5. So that's all
from last season.
He only played 1 season though.
That's why.
All right, let me ask you this: he's top. If you had a starter, if you had
just appreciate his great year, and I hope he continues to be great.
Because you got to throw something slide there. You got to be like, you was throwing in there from last season. It's period.
Because you tried to put in he's the greatest of all time. He's never be the GOAT. You called him the GOAT after 1 year.
I never called him the GOAT, bro. I never said he was the greatest of all time. When did I say he was the greatest of all time?
I've never said that. Receipts. Don't make me put up them receipts,
bro. It's JD5.
If anyone from the Bicker chat, you know who you are.
All right, let me ask you this then. If you had to pick any QB to start your team, right? To start your team, is he in the top 5 of those QBs?
Yeah.
Okay. So what is your top 5? If you had to pick any QB to start your
Patrick
team?
Mahomes, Patrick Mahomes, number one. Wow, I can't believe Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
Josh Allen.
Okay.
And then after that, Jalen Hurts. But I don't know if I would put him at 4.
Look,
I don't know if I would put him at 4.
You got to. If you said Jaden Daniels is in that top 5, you're not putting Jalen Hurts in there, bro, because you're leaving off a major QB.
That's why. Let me make sure. Like that's still playing.
I'm saying to start if you had to pick a franchise, right, and start drafting players. You want any you could pick any QB to start a new franchise.
Joe Burrow.
Right. You could pick any QB to start your franchise. You could pick any QB to be like, okay, this is the guy I want for my new franchise going forward to win the Super Bowls. You're putting Jalen Hurts in the top 5?
I don't see why you can't. He's Super Bowl champion, right?
Joe Flacco, Super Bowl champion, MVP.
Yeah.
Are you putting Joe Flacco in your top 5 during that time? During that time with Joe Flacco? During that time when Joe Flacco
won, yeah.
So when did they win the Super Bowl? Was it 2012? I think it was 2012.
Yeah, 2012.
So you're putting Joe Flacco to start your career in 2012 over. Okay, so you got Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady at that time. You had Phillip Rivers. You had Ben Roethlisberger. So 6 of them guys already is out. One of them guys is out since you want to put Joe Flacco in there because Joe Flacco is a Super Bowl MVP and he won a Super Bowl.
I mean, now you're switching eras now. I mean,
I'm putting it into perspective. That's all.
Because you said first we were talking about this past season, and now you're switching it to 2012.
All right. Hold on. Wait. Let me clarify.
Okay.
So you're saying you would put Jalen Hurts in your top 5 to start your season? I mean, not start season. To start your franchise. To start your franchise, you could pick any QB from this era, right? And you would pick Jalen Hurts.
Any quarterback from last
year. From this era in general, you're picking Jalen Hurts is in your top 5.
When does this era start?
I'm talking about all the QBs now. When I say era, I mean like who are starting QBs in today's league. Like so. Now.
I mean, yeah, unfortunately, yeah. Patrick Mahomes, we can agree on that one.
Okay.
Lamar Jackson, we can agree on that one.
Okay.
Josh Allen, we can agree on that one.
Okay.
Joe Burrow, we can agree on that one.
Okay.
And Jalen Hurts, that's the only one that's giving you trouble.
So it's not Jaden Daniels. You're not starting Jaden Daniels is not in your top 5 to start your.
I guess not, but he would be 6.
Okay.
I'll tell you that. There's no way.
Freaking Genius says this man hates Jalen. I don't hate Jalen Hurts. I'm just realistic. I'm starting a new franchise. I'm picking Jaden Daniels over Jalen Hurts to be my QB. I probably pick Jalen Hurts like 6. I pick Jalen Hurts 7. I'm taking Baker Mayfield because Jalen Hurts, Eagles can't beat Baker Mayfield. I'm taking Baker Mayfield 6, and I'm putting Jalen Hurts at 7. That's me though, bro.
You putting Baker Mayfield over Jalen Hurts, bro?
Yes,
bro.
Pull up his numbers from. Okay, no, you stop, bro. Baker Mayfield
won the Super Bowl.
Look at his team,
bro.
Yo, you can't say who won the Super Bowl. You can't say who won the Super Bowl because QBs like Joe Flacco won the Super Bowl and Super Bowl MVP. That means nothing. Joe Flacco had an elite
right now.
Joe Flacco had an elite defense. He had an elite defense. Jalen Hurts has an elite defense.
Okay, but you still have to put points on the board, and the defense still has to be scared.
Okay. Let me ask you this.
That the quarterback throw, because or else they would just blitz Saquon the whole time and leave the wide receivers open, but they couldn't do that.
I'm not saying Lincoln. I'm not saying Joe Flacco was bad. I'm not saying Joe
Okay.
Flacco was bad.
I don't even know
I'm
why we're
saying
talking about Joe Flacco when it's
what
between
warrants him
Hurts and
top
Daniels.
5. What warrants him top 5 to start your franchise? Why, other than him winning? Okay, you want to say it's because of the Super Bowl and the Super Bowl MVP?
One of the
Great,
reasons.
I can't argue with that. He has a Super Bowl
Okay.
MVP. But
Yeah.
other than that, what talent or traits does he do on the field that makes you want to say, he's top 5 that I'm picking to start my franchise with?
Because he's been consistently great. He has multiple years, at least 2 or 3 years where he's made it into the postseason. And I will say the fact that he was a quarterback that understood, hey, with the addition of Saquon Barkley coming in, I'm gonna throw less, which means I'm gonna have to take maybe a different role. I'm not the main guy. I'm not gonna be thrown. Sometimes that quarterbacks don't like that because they don't feel like they are in charge of the game as much. They may not feel like they're as in, like they have to feel important a lot of time. But Jalen Hurts was like, you know what? I have this guy in the backfield, and I don't need to be throwing it 30 times a game or 25 times a game. I can pass it off. I can hand it off. And that shows great leadership. He brought
So
on
he
Saquon.
has
Saquon felt he felt like a part of the team. And I think Jalen Hurts had a big thing to deal with that because as like
okay,
that's Jalen Hurts is the captain, so he creates
okay.
that environment. That's why.
All right, let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
I can't argue with the Super Bowl MVP. If you put him in his top 5, if you put him in your top 5, I can't argue with that. He has a Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
But this is what I want to ask you though. What
Yeah.
elite traits does Jalen Hurts have on the field that you can name off the top of your head?
Man, like
That's
game
my point.
management.
That's just my point. Because when you name Josh Allen, I can name a plethora of elite traits. When you name Lamar
Yeah.
Jackson, I can name a plethora of elite traits. When you name Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, I can name a plethora of elite traits. Granted, Jaden Daniels only was a rookie. He only has 1 season. But I can already name elite traits that he has. When it comes to Jalen Hurts, I struggle finding what he does elite.
Game management.
Other than leadership on
Leadership
the
is
field.
one of the most important things you need.
I'm talking about on the field though. Like, what does he do on the field that's you be like, okay, he does this elite?
He can pass the ball.
Nothing, bro. It's nothing. He's a very, very above average good quarterback. That's what he is. He does almost everything very good, but he doesn't do anything elite. He doesn't do anything
That's
elite.
fine, but as long
that's
as he
fine.
can,
I'm not saying it's not fine. It's fine.
Okay.
It's okay. It's okay. But I'm just trying to understand why you would put him over certain QBs. When I think of Baker Mayfield, I think of elite. I think elite playmaking. That's when I think of Baker Mayfield. When you need a play, Baker Mayfield is either going to run it or he gonna make the right read. When I think that's why I put Baker Mayfield. If I'm starting a franchise, I might take Baker Mayfield over Jalen Hurts, and I probably take Jalen Hurts 7th, and I take Jaden Daniels 5th, Baker Mayfield 6th, Jalen Hurts 7th. That's what I would do.
I will respect.
Lincoln said in the playoffs though, Jalen Hurts. Okay, another trait he reminded me. Another trait with Jalen Hurts. Usually when he gets in the playoffs, he does up his game. When he gets in the playoffs, he does show up when he play. But I'm gonna tell you this though, Jalen Hurts has an elite team. If you put Josh Allen on that Eagles team, they might not even lost a game last season.
Of course, yeah, okay, yeah.
But if you put Jaden Daniels on that team last season, they don't lose a game.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe, sure.
All right, let's switch it up.
Yeah, because
let's switch it up.
Yeah.
Because I gotta get up out of here soon. But I wanted to go over the Trey Hendrickson stuff. So in the Bengals, since we got a Bengal fan in the chat, it looked like if he's still here. But so the whole Trey Hendrickson stuff, right? And then they got the rookie Shamar Stewart, who hasn't signed his rookie contract. And this is normal, like this happens. But when you hear the reason why, the reason why he hasn't signed it. I think I don't know all the details, but
Who?
it was something in
The
the
rookie?
Shamar Stewart. Yeah, it was something in with
Yeah,
the guaranteed
they
money.
lowballed him. They lowballed him, I
They
think.
pretty much lowballed him, and they was like pretty much the same pick from last year. They try to give him less money from the pick that a person a year ago made, even though the salary cap went up, right? And
Yeah.
then they're not trying to pay Trey Hendrickson. I just don't think they might not have the money to pay nobody, because Joe Burrow was like, look, man, if you don't get my both my wide receivers to come back, I'm requesting a trade. You think he said that? You think that's something real that Joe Burrow would have did? Like, all right, if you don't sign T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, I'm requesting a trade.
I could see that.
So he kind of backed in the owner. I don't think the owner wants to pay anyone else. I don't think they want to pay. I think they wanted to make Joe Burrow happy, and it's looking like it's gonna cost him in the future. But that's just something interesting how Trey Hendrickson can combine for what 35 sacks in 2 seasons. And when it
And this
comes
is a
to
guy. This is a guy that has done it. Like, he's been nothing but a great player for that team, right? I
nothing.
mean, Trey Hendrickson has been there his whole career. Everything he has said, and he legit looks uncomfortable when he has talked to the media. When he talks
Bro, cause
on the Pat McAfee show, he looks
right.
uncomfortable in front of the media. He looks like he does not want to be doing this. You can tell.
Yeah.
So
Facts.
and I don't know. Like I it's but it's the business.
Yeah.
But I don't think he has leverage besides if he sits out, and I don't think he's gonna. I don't know if he would do that.
Yeah, it's his age. He's 30, 30 now? And if he
Yeah,
sits out a season, whoever team he goes to after that, they're only going to sign him to a 1-year deal because they're going to want to make sure he's still in football shape. So he
yeah.
sits out this season. He's 31. He signs another 1-year deal. He's 32. When you're 32 at a defensive end, you're not like, it's going to be hard for him to try to act. Now, if he signs a 1-year deal and he goes out and gets 17, 18 sacks again, that'll help his case, because at that point he could probably get around the money that he wanted the Bengals to pay him. But he's
But
still
why
going to
does
be
he?
32 at that point.
But he shouldn't have to be making a case after
No, he doesn't.
7 years of,
But
or
it's
I
the
don't know how
Bengals
long.
though. Like, the Bengals, they are known for not wanting to pay their guys the way they should have been paid, and they don't even have they're the only team in the league without a GM. And it's
Mhm.
it's just what you can expect from the Bengals. Like, it's a sad case that he got Drew. He's playing for the Bengals, but the way he was talking though, I think it sounds like he might sit out, bro. I think he don't. I think
Um,
he. I don't know, bro.
he might sit out, but like I gotta say this about the Bengals because I know we've talked quite a bit about them and everything.
Mm,
I I will respect the fact that they have at least paid those 3 people, and
mm,
I do believe that the Bengals have a good consistency in drafting and developing solid defensive players historically. Like, I just feel
mhm.
like they've always done pretty good in that, doing that. Granted, I've only, from my time of watching, their defense has always been top tier, always been pretty good. And
This is
so this
yeah.
is I don't think this bad defense is gonna last long. So, if they trade him or whatever happens with him, I don't think the Bengals are gonna be in this situation for too long. Maybe just this year, and then
But
next year they'll
okay,
probably be pretty good again.
this is my thing with the Bengals, right?
Hmm.
It sounds like they don't want to extend him. Am I correct? Or am I
Yes, they
like they
do.
don't want to sign him? Okay, they don't want to extend him, right?
They don't want to sign him to 40. What that
Okay,
number is, I don't know.
if they don't want to extend him, right, and they're going to make him play on his last deal, right? That's leaving them with one more season with Trey Hendricks, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
If they're going to make him play on this last year deal, Trey Hendrickson most likely is not going to sign again with them in the offseason. He's going to sign somewhere else. If they make him go through all this shit and make him play and he ends up playing, he's not going to want to sign again after doing all this. He's probably going to leave. And that's my mind. Like if I'm at work and I'm going through all this shit to get this pay raise and they like, no, we're not giving you a pay raise, yada, yada, yada. So I got to go out into the wild and go do all this wild shit. And then now they want to talk about my pay raise. And I know I can go over here. They might pay me more. I'm going to go over there and they're going to pay me more. Right. With that being said, the Bengals, yeah, they could franchise tag him, which would be some bullshit. But even if they franchise tag him, I don't know how many times in a row they can get franchise tagged. I think you can do 2 years in a row. I think you can do 2 years in a row, which would be messed up, honestly. But I mean, he'll still make some good money. But I don't know if they even want to do that, if they don't even want to pay him what he's worth. So I don't know about that. But let's say this. It's looking like Trey Hendrickson has 1 year left in Bengals. That's what I think. I don't think he's staying after 1 year unless they give him the contract that he wants this offseason. With that being said, the Bengals know it's looking like he's only going to be on the team for 1 season.
Yeah.
If you know he's leaving after next season, why not trade him now? His value is here now. If you let him play through this contract this 1 season and he leaves, you get nothing for him. The Bengals can get a 2nd round or a 3rd round pick right now for him. Why won't they trade him? That's my thing. I think it makes sense to trade him, and also because I want him to come to the Commanders. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, that's just my point. What do you think?
I mean, no, that's all sounds solid. I would agree with all of that.
Yeah, they need him.
The reason why they wouldn't is because A, they need him, and B, if you got a great player and you don't have to trade him, then why do it?
Because you can save money and you will get an extra pick. You don't need.
But
I don't think they need him this season. They didn't. He put up tremendous numbers last season, and their defense was still trash. Them not re-signing his contract tells you that they don't need him. The Bengals already feel like they don't need him, because if they needed him, they would have gave him his contract, just like they did Myles Garrett, just like they did Max Crosby. They would have gave them his contract if they felt like they needed him. So they clearly don't feel like they need him. So my thing is that he's in big jeopardy of only playing for the Bengals for 1 more season. And if that's the case, he's going to leave for nothing. He's going to leave for nothing when they have a chance now to trade him. Granted, if he plays this season, they can still trade him like halfway through the season before the trade deadline, or even if he doesn't play. But at that point, his value is going to go all the way down. Now you're looking at like a 4th round pick. Like as time goes on, his value is going to go down, right, as far as possible. Right now, his biggest value, in my opinion, is now like you're going to get around the 2nd round pick right now. No one's giving you a 1st round pick for a 30-year-old defensive end unless it's Myles Garrett or Max Crosby or something. But you're not.
And I think to add to your point, if you're the Bengals, you can still kind of control where he's going to go, right? Like, the last thing I would want is for Trey Hendrickson to go to like the Ravens or Buffalo.
That's what he would have that choice if he leaves next season.
Exactly. That's the last thing I want, because I would want him to go to. I would trade him to Jacksonville, the Titans, the Saints, right? Somewhere where he'll go there. He'll make an impact, and then if he wants to join later, that's fine. But I know if I trade with one of those teams, like you said, I can get a 2nd round pick, and it'll probably be a high pick. So
this is the thing: if they franchise tag him, he would make 21. He would make 21 million, 21.3 million guaranteed. They would have to give him 21 million guaranteed.
That's half of what, or at least 15.
Let's look at his current contract though.
Yeah.
These contracts are weird. Let me go to Sport Track, Sport Rack, however you pronounce it. So his 2025, he's only set to make 16 million. So they
Oh,
could franchise
wow.
tag him. If they franchise tag him, he could still sit out. Like he's already threatening to sit out. He's still going to probably not show up in trans. We're in the same boat if he gets transfer franchise
I've
tag.
heard reports of him wanting to go, or maybe landing in at the Patriots, but I don't know. I mean, I could see it. Um,
This is how I feel, bro. I honestly feel
yeah,
like the Bengals didn't need T. Higgins. And look, I love T. Higgins. I love Jamar Chase, and I know Bengals. If any Bengals fans is watching this, they're gonna be like, "Bro, what are you talking about?" I don't think y'all needed T. Higgins more than y'all need a defense.
mhm.
Y'all could have spent that money on T. Higgins. Y'all could have spent that money on two solid defensive players, re-signed Trey Hendrickson. Now you're looking at a much better improved defense, and you still got Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and
What number did they have in the draft? Round one.
I can't remember, but let's see who they picked up in the draft.
They picked up Sweat, but also, just trying to remember
They
who.
picked up Shamar Stewart, Demarius Knight, linebacker, Dylan Fairchild, guard, Taj Brooks, the running back out of Texas Tech.
Okay, so they had the 17th pick in the first round.
Yep.
Right. So they could have gotten Matthew Golden. Matthew Golden, Jamar Chase could have been a wide receiver duo.
Yeah, but they needed
or they
defense. They weren't going to draft a wide receiver high up. They could have
okay.
drafted a wide receiver like in the later rounds. Like some good wide receivers went in like the third or fourth, but they got a guard and a linebacker.
Yeah,
But
they missed out on, let's see, Trey. Excuse me, y'all. Trey Harris. Who else? I'm trying to see. In the third round.
so first of all, what did they do to improve the defense? Like who do they pick up defensively on that defense? I'm about to go through. They signed Joseph Osai, who was already on the team from last year. Cam
Yeah.
Sample, defensive tackle, they brought back. I don't even know who that is for real. Marco Wilson, cornerback that they brought back.
Wilson's good. Wilson's good.
Is he?
He was solid. Mm-hmm.
He's making $1 million. He's making
From
1.5 million next season.
I want to
BJ
say he's
Hill. These are all guys they brought back from the same defense.
okay.
They brought in Oren Burks, linebacker, on a 2-year deal from the Eagles. That's the only defensive pickup that they brought in was Owen Burks. This franchise, bro, I don't know what this team is doing, but it don't seem like it's real.
But they got two. They brought in two linebackers and an edge in the draft as well.
In the draft, yeah, they did. They got a dog in Demarius Knight. He's good, bro. He's really good. He's really good.
So Stewart and Knight can pan out.
Stewart can pan out. I'm not a big fan of Stewart because he hasn't really produced in college. I think he averaged 1 sack a year, but
Yeah.
he's a freakish athlete, and with those, it's wild. It's a wild card. So I get taking a chance. I don't like the pick, but I get taking a chance on Shamar Stewart. But why pick him and then try to lowball him?
Because, like you said, they spend a lot of money already, and they know they don't want to play a whole bunch for players that haven't. I mean, again, I agree. Like the Trey Hendrickson one is definitely a head scratcher, but you know, we doubted them with T Higgins, and they made it happen. So they bought a little, I don't know, credibility for now until we see what happens. Maybe they're cooking something up. we still got 2 months, or at least a month and a half before uh some of these moves take a minute.
Yeah.
Uh it's the NFL. So we'll see.
I'm
We'll
gonna
see
throw
what
this.
happens.
I'm gonna throw this out there though, bro. But who you got winning tonight? Celtics or Knicks?
Oh, it should be the Knicks. I
The
hope
Knicks
it's
are.
the Knicks.
Guess how much they leading at halftime by?
The Knicks leading by
They're
25.
leading. They're leading the Celtics at halftime by 33 points.
Yeah, I would hope so. The
The
Boston
Celtics have
Boston
the
doesn't have.
Celtics have 37 points. The game is over. The game is over. Is
Yeah,
my point.
yeah.
Who you got on the Nuggets and Thunder?
I was talking to a coworker about this. Uh, I don't
This
know
is
if he's
hard,
watching.
bro. I don't know who. I don't know who's gonna win.
I will follow the advice of the most dominant big man in the game, Shaquille O'Neal, and what he said inside the NBA. Um, I think OKC needed to win yesterday. They go back home. But if there's one person that I don't want to face in a game 7, is Joker.
And he's
you
done it like
know,
they've won the finals. They have championship experience, bro. So they know the type of demeanor that they have to come in on this game.
mhm.
They should have won it. I was watching that game last night, and that might be their bet. I'm not gonna say they can't win it in game 7 because this can be a
Yeah.
moment for Shai. Shea. This can be a moment for Shea to tell the league he's here for real. And he's stepping into his prime. He's on the same level as the Joker, and he's on the same level as Giannis, and he's on the same level as Luka and everybody else, right? This is it's a chance for Shai to elevate his game tomorrow night, is what I'm saying. But it does feel like the momentum is with the Nuggets, and I'm gonna say this, bro. Right now, I think these are the two best teams left in the playoffs.
OKC and the Nuggets.
I think OKC and the Nuggets are the two best teams left in the playoffs.
The
Respect
Wolves?
to the Timberwolves, but watching this series, bro, it hasn't been like some teams play bad. One team plays bad one night, and the other team wins. But both of these teams have been playing really good down to the wire. Now, granted, some of these games have gotten like the 20-point leads, but these teams have been battling, bro. They've been battling. Both sides have been hitting some crazy shots. Both sides are playing really good defense. It looks like both sides are locked in. It's really anyone's game. But if I had to give the edge, it's probably going to be the Nuggets. It's probably going to be the Nuggets. But I want OKC to win, man. I want it to be the year of the young guys. I want OKC, Timberwolves, and I want the Knicks. And we already got the Knicks and the Pacers. So I want some young guys in there, some new blood. I want to usher out LeBron and all them. You know what I'm saying? I want to see something different this year.
They're being ushered out right now.
Yeah, they are.
So okay, let's
because I don't know, and we can do it too. We don't have to dive too deep because I know you
Yeah,
guys.
because I'm probably about to get off in the next few minutes. But yeah,
Okay.
that's it.
So, Western Conference Finals, Wolves, and if it's OKC, who you got?
I'm gonna probably
Oh,
go
who you got
OKC.
leading? OKC. Okay.
I'm gonna say OKC, and it's as simple as what I've been seeing from both sides throughout this playoff run.
Okay. And if it's
The
Denver,
Wolves have been
Wolves?
struggling. The Wolves have been struggling to shoot the three.
Sure.
And I don't
If
think
it's
they can.
Wolves and
Uh-huh.
the Nuggets, Wolves and the Nuggets.
I'm taking the Nuggets. I know the Wolves already beat them last season, but I can't really bet against the Nuggets, man. Watching Joker is watching Jokic is hard to like. He just seems like he has all the answers to the test. Every time he gets the ball, it's like, oh shit. He either gonna shoot one of them weird looking floaters where he get 3 inches off the ground in the paint and back you down, or he gonna like find the open guy wide open for a three. For me with the Nuggets, it's really going to come down to if they're hitting their open shots. Is Michael Porter Jr. hitting his open shots? Is Russell Westbrook hitting his open shots? Is Christian Brown hitting his open shots? Because they're going to get open shots playing with Jokic. Plenty of them.
Okay.
And same for OKC. Same for OKC.
Okay. And then Knicks versus Pacers.
That one's a toss-up for me. To be honest, they're both playing really well. That's going to be a good series.
I agree.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I want to go Knicks. I want to go Knicks, and I feel like it's Knicks only because of the star power. Like they got two legit stars. But
the Pacers don't.
Pacers, they got Tyrese Halliburton and they got their big man, but the
Miles
like
Turner, put some respect on that.
Miles Turner he's not.
Now.
Listen though. The Pacers do have a lot of depth. They do have a lot of depth, but so do the Knicks though. I mean, the Knicks starters play a lot of minutes, but they play well together, bro. They play really well, and Jalen Brunson is going to be the best player in the series. They have the best player. Jalen Brunson is the best player on the court. So it's like, I don't really know, bro. It's a toss-up because at one hand, like Lincoln said, they do have depth. They do have some depth, and they balling right now. Miles Turner, the Pacers. They got some depth. So I don't know, but if I had to choose, I'm only choosing. If I had to choose, I'm only choosing the Knicks because I think they have the best player on the court. But
if I may just give my two take, and then we can end it. I'm going with the Wolves out and from the West. I'll pick the underdog. I got no problem with that. I think Anthony Edwards is going to shut down.
No, he's a
that
dog,
team is pretty complete. That team is pretty complete, and I think everyone knows their role and they can get back to being consistent. I will agree with you though, what you said. They have to get that three pointer back. But I think
if they can hit their threes, I'll change my mind. But watching them in that Lakers series and watching them in the Warriors series, they're not consistent.
But they swept them though. They swept them though. Well, gentlemen sweep.
They gentlemen swept the Lakers and they gentlemen swept the Warriors. But it would have been a different series if Curry didn't go down.
That's fair.
But I will say this: OKC and Denver are hitting their shots more than what the Timberwolves are. But Timberwolves, they're a wild card, man, because if they're hitting, they can beat anybody. They have a really good defense, and if they're hitting their shots, and if it really comes down to Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards sometimes Anthony Edwards sometimes, it be moments in the game, not like for full games, but it be moments in the game where I feel like he kind of forget who the fuck he is, bro. Like, I watched it.
He's the second person that said something like that. Like, he's not mature enough. I heard someone say, like,
once he realizes once he realizes like moments in the game where it's like, okay, they can't fuck with me and my team needs me to score. I'm the X factor. Like it's he knows that. Trust me, he knows that. But it's certain times in the game where it's like, okay, the team is going on a run, they're coming back, or we're down, we're down 5 and we were just down 1 point. It's time for me to, go get it. That's the next level of his game where he realizes that can't nobody really fuck with me for real. I gotta go get some points right now to keep my team in the game. Once he figures that shit out, they're going to be unstoppable, bro. Because then he doesn't have any weaknesses at that point. He improved the 3 this year. He can get to the basket at will. He's a really good defender, very athletic. He shoots them good mid range. Once he realizes the points in the game where he needs to take over and he needs to go get a bucket himself or make a play consistently, because he can do that. But I feel like it's times in the game where he doesn't sense it's time for him to make something happen. Or he senses it too late and the game gets away. Or he tries to do too much when you're up 10 or 12 when you got to kind of coast it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I feel like that's going back to like, and to like, so I can give this point too. I feel like I agree with that 100%. And I feel like that's where Tyrese Halliburton was last year. I feel like Tyrese Halliburton last year was that guy who didn't really want to be the main guy throughout the whole time, but that's what that Pacers team needed, and he didn't show that. This year, if you've seen him and all this stuff, he's really put that on his shoulders, and he's like, yeah, I am the main guy on this team. When we need to make a bucket, I'm him, right?
Right.
So that's why I'm gonna give it to the Pacers. I think the Pacers are gonna
Okay.
win it. I think we may have a Pacers versus Wolves on our hand, which is
That's different.
crazy to say.
That's different.
Crazy to say. I never thought we would have that, but yeah. So, all right. Well, let's see how this weekend turns out. Maybe there might be
All
some
right.
moves. All right,
We gonna
man.
see,
You have a
man.
good one.
You too, bro.
Peace.
All right, bro. Peace out.